Okay, in this video, this series of videos, in the next set of videos, I'm going to go over how to create a 2-page website, and the next set of videos, I'm going to go over how to create a 2-page website. So let's begin. This website will be on the Schuylkill River Trail. So we begin. Again, the first step always in Dreamweaver is to set up your site. I already set up my site, but what you would do is you would go Site, New Site, and go through the steps and actually specify where the folder is going to be. So I'm going to come to Manage Sites. I'm going to show you where my site is. If I come to Edit, we can see that my site, I created a folder, I named it River, and this is the path to it, and I have my site name created. I'm going to hit Save, Done, and my site is created. Now again, it's very important that we put all of the components into this folder. Web design is very much about linked files and file management. So our next step is to create a new page. Now, I created this page already, but we would come to File, New, and we're going to put it at HTML, and we're going to put it at HTML5, and we would hit Create, and we have our page. So let's begin. Let's start to design. So I can come on into my Properties panel, and I can go to Page Properties. Let's actually just write a little bit of code here, a little bit of CSS. So now if you're not seeing this, what you're going to want to do is make sure, if we go on in and we take a quick look at the code, let's take a look. We want to make sure that our cursor is, we can put it in the body, okay? And then we'll go to our split view, and one more time we'll go to Window, turn on our properties, make sure we have our CSS, and hit Page Properties. Now, I'm going to go to Appearance, CSS, and I'm going to come on in, I'm going to set a background color. So this is for a river trail, so I'm going to make like a nice light blue. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to hit Apply, and I can see that the color then drops in. And I can write down the color number, so I have that. It's C5E9EA. Excellent. I could also come in now and work with my links. Now I can also come back and do this another time, which I think is going to be the better thing to do. I'm going to hit OK. I have this first one right here. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build a header. I'm going to build a navbar, a main content area, and a footer. So let's begin with the header. I'm going to open up my insert window, Window, Insert, and when I come on in, I'm at HTML, and I'm going to begin with a header. So I hit the word header, and I'm going to do a new CSS rule. Now, I want it to be after the start of a tag, after the start of the body tag, because it's going to be at the top. I'm going to do a new CSS rule. Now, this would absolutely be an ID. It's going to apply to one element, and I'm going to give this one the name of, let's see, I'm going to name it Bike Banner just because. Now, I want to create a new style sheet. I'm going to have one CSS sheet for this, so I'm going to hit OK. And now this will go in and it will say, what would you like to name it? I'll name it river.css. I'm going to hit Save, and it comes on in. Now, I'm going to make this a box. I'm going to put the width, I'm going to set the width to 1000. I'm going to put the height at 80. And I want it to be in the center, so I'm going to move it down from the top a little bit. I'll move it down from the top about 10 pixels. And I'm going to put the right at auto and the left at auto. Now I'm going to go back to the background because I actually have an image that I'm going to put in at the background. I'm going to use this bike banner. I'm going to hit Open. I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to hit OK. And there we have it. There is my bike banner. All right, so now what I'm going to do in a minute is I would come on in and put in my font over top of this. I'm going to hold off on that. I'm going to go back in now and I'm going to create my navbar. And I can come back and add some other styles and different things for this. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to insert my navbar. And I'm going to come on back to my insert window and I'm going to hit navigation. Now, I get this one right here, and I'm going to say insert. The reason why this is happening is it's asking, because I still have this one selected, so I'm going to say after. Okay, now the only problem was that when I did that, it didn't give me the option of the CSS rule. So what I am going to do is come on in, make sure that my cursor is in the proper space for the code. So I'm going to come on in, actually let me take a peek at the code, and I am going to hit return, come back in, come on in to my split view, and again hit insert navigation because I find it easier to write the CSS when I come this way. Again, I'm going to say after tag, I'm going to put it after my header, and I'm going to do a new CSS rule, and I'm going to name this Navbar, and I want to attach it to my CSS sheet, and I am going to apply it, do an ID because I only have one of those. I'm going to hit OK. So I come on in, and I'm going to give it a background. I'm going to choose a background color. And I'm going to choose a background color that I'm going to choose colors that are more like the outdoors. So I'm going to choose that yellowy kind of grayish brown. I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to give it a size. So again, the width was 1000. I'm going to put the height in at 32. And I'm going to put a little bit of a top margin, 10 pixels. Undo same for all. Again, I want this to be auto right, auto left, and I'm going to hit OK. All right, so now I have the space for my navbar right underneath my header. Okay, I'm just going to keep on going and building and then come on back to my other pieces. All right, so my next thing that I want to do is my main. Now, I'm going to come on in here, again, making sure that I'm after this. I want to make sure that I'm still on the body, but I want to make sure that I'm after. So if I come on in, I can hit main if I'd like to. And again, didn't want that. Again, I find that the best thing to do is make sure that your cursor is where it needs to be in the code. This is where I want this main content area to come. So I'm going to go back to split, and I'm going to hit main. And now I get this window here. I'm going to say after tag, it's going to go after navbar, and I'm going to name this main content. And I'm going to do another new CSS rule. Again, I want it to be on River CSS. I want it to be an ID to only apply to one element. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to choose a background color. Now, I want to come back in, and I could click onto this guy. I'm going to click this one. And I want to go a little bit lighter, okay? So I can see that it's in that same color family, but I'm just going a little bit lighter for the font to show up over top of it. So that's the actual color that I would like. And I'm going to add the box. Now, I'm going to put the box in at 1000 pixels. And I'm going to put the height in at, for right now, I'll put it in at 900. I could also flip it to auto, and when it would be auto, it would just change with the size of whatever was inside of it. I'm going to undo, same for all. I'll put 10 pixels. I'm going to put the right at auto and the left at auto, and I'm going to hit apply. I'm going to hit OK, OK. Okay, I definitely did something not correctly. So let's take a look. I can go back and open up CSS Designer, and I can see my main content up. I have an extra 0. Excellent. So that extra 0 makes a big difference. All right, so there we have it. Excellent. All right, now the next thing that I want to do is I want to come on in and I want to add a footer. So what I'm going to do, again, one more time, I find it's easiest to go on into the code, put my cursor where I want it to be. Again, I want it to come after the main content area. I'm going to go back into split view, and I'm going to insert my footer, and I'm going to say after tag, and I'm going to just name it, oopsie, actually new CSS rule, forgive me. I'm going to name it over here, bottom. If I named it footer, it would say that it wouldn't work because there's a HTML that's footer. I'm going to name it an ID. I want it to be on River CSS. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to give it a background color. Again, I'm going to come right in here. I'm going to choose that color right there. I'm going to do a box. I'm going to put the width in at 1000. Make sure I don't do that extra however many. And I'll put this one in at 45 for my height. Again, I'm going to undo this. I'm going to put 10 for the top. and I'm going to put the right in at auto, I'm going to put the left in at auto, and I'm going to hit OK. OK. All right, and there we have it. Now, looks like I put bottom in the wrong spot. So what I can do, and I'm going to show you, I can actually go into the code and I can change this. Somehow I did something improperly. You probably caught it as you were watching. So, and this is a great thing to see. What do? Well, I can come to line 16 and I can select the opening footer and the closing footer. I can come to Edit, Cut. I can come after main and I can hit return, and I can go back now to my split view and I should see it and it should all be working out. There we go. Excellent. So it's all about the order. Now I'm going to come to File, Save All, and I'm going to now view this. So in order to view it, I'm going to go Preview Browser. I'll preview it in Safari. I'll preview it in Google Chrome, whichever one. And there we have it. Now, this is the story. When we put our, when we set our margins right, left, we can see that it adjusts. So whatever monitor it's on, it will adjust based on what it has going on around it. Okay, that quick video showed you how to just lay it all out. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to add the content and start stylizing and creating an interesting look. Thanks so much for listening.